Now, from WBZ Sports, this is Burton Ernie Talk Football with Fauria.
You know, it's never a dull moment around here. Welcome, everyone, to Burton Ernie Talk Football with Fauria. I'm Steve Burton. Happy New Year to you all. Patriots are AFC East champs. We got home playoff games to look forward to, but today we have hit a bump in the road that we just hope won't turn into a sinkhole. We learned today that Stefon Diggs is facing serious criminal charges. He's been charged with felony strangulation or suffocation and a misdemeanor assault and battery. These are from an incident that happened back on December 2nd, by the way. Ernie Adams and Chris Fauria alongside. And as we tape the show right now, we learned about the charges just a couple hours ago. Diggs issued a statement through his lawyers saying the alleged incident never happened. And this is about a dispute between Diggs and an employee over money. Well, the Patriots have issued a statement themselves saying Diggs has their support. And for our purposes here, I want to talk to Ernie Adams and Christian Fauria about situations such as this. How does it divide the locker room? Does it divide the locker room? What do the Patriots do? How should they respond? All these are firing at you right away. Ernie, you first.
Well, Steve, Happy New Year.
Yeah. I said that at the beginning of the show. You're right.
And, you know, there's a reason that you'll see so many, players and coaches say, let the legal process play out. When I don't know anything about this situation, really, other than what you just read. So it's if you don't know, you're better off. A big part of the legal process is determining what the truth is. Let it play out. Don't go commenting on something you really don't know anything about. That's pretty much always good advice for players and coaches.
Okay. Christian, it's been smooth sailing this season so far, right?
Yeah.
Everything's been good, both on and off the field for the most part.
It's been great.
Right?
And now I'm curious if Ernie would back me up on this. I think the one asset, the one characteristic NFL players should learn or understand or develop is the ability to compartmentalize your life, right? Which means you have your home life, and then you come to the building, you come to that facility, whatever issues you have, whatever distractions that may be existing. It could be as simple as your family coming in. It could be as crazy and as distractive, or not distractive as like a kid being born.
Yep.
Like when you get to that building, you need to focus. And everybody that goes in there needs to just kind of, because it's a short period of time in the big scheme of things as far as the day goes. So that goes for people and your teammates. So if you when you come into the building, you just have to let it go. You just have to ignore it. You can't, because the last thing you need to be doing is worrying about something like that when you're practicing third down, red zone. I know people will say, well, that's just a game. That's his life. So, then we're trying to, we win a championship, and that's important to people. So I think that, to me, after all the things that go on with players in all sports, they need to learn how to compartmentalize their life.
No question. I mean,
that's a great way to put it, by the way.
Right. They're going to go out to practice. They got to be focused. If you go out on an NFL practice field, or even worse, an NFL game, and you're not really dialed into what you're doing, it's just going to be a real problem for you.
And I think it's a learned trait, because it's hard for you not to care about these things. It's hard for you not to get affected by these things, and it just bleeds into a practice and it bleeds into a game.
Well, the other thing you're leaving out is the media, because the media doesn't let it go.
Right.
Correct? The media is going to go in, ask Stefon Diggs about this situation. They may even ask his teammates about this situation.
And I would, if you're not there, you don't know. So, I mean, I'm not going to comment on
I hear you.
This is where, let your lawyer write a statement for you, and the last thing as a player I think you want to do is get into talking about this, in the media, where it's never going to end. This is what you got a lawyer for.
Yeah, and I would say in the players, there is some shrapnel effect, because the lockers, I may have the locker right next to you. Someone's going to come up to me and ask me, what do you think about what happened? I said, listen, I don't know anything about it, but, in my job, that has nothing to do with me. And you just answer it once.
That's how you would handle it.
Yes, listen, I don't know anything about it.
Right.
Well, I'm not going to comment on something I know nothing about. I didn't read the brief. I don't know. So I'm not going to put myself in that position. I still wouldn't know, because I'm sure Diggs talks to his buddies. He's got close friends on that team.
What if you did know?
I would say, listen, none of my business. I support him. That's it. Got a big game to go. I'm worried about the Miami Dolphins right now.
How does Mike Vrabel handle it?
Well, I think it's it's always a tough one. First of all, I would bet you anything. Mike sat down, with the player. Tell me your side. But again, it's always the safest place to be for a player or coach is let the legal process play out. The truth will come out. What you don't want to do is start commenting on something you really don't know what happened, and then other things come out, and then they'll come back to you. Well, how about this? Like Christian said, answer it once, and if it's not you, answer once, and then let it go.
The whole thing that Ernie's talking about, speak for yourself. That was always been the main lesson. Speak for yourself. Don't speak for anybody else other than yourself. That's key. I think the other thing is and not for nothing. This organization has seen a lot worse. They've seen a lot of things. They are well versed at handling these situations, messaging, protocol, all that stuff. They're not going to have a problem dealing with this, and this will absolutely not affect them moving forward.
Oh, can it rattle a team? I mean, let's talk about the incident that happened with Plaxico Burress.
I think it was 2008, and again, I wasn't there, but I do know that for the first 11 weeks of the 2008 season, the Giants, as defending Super Bowl champs, were playing like Super Bowl champs. They had a really good team.
And then what happened?
And then he had the incident. At the
Who's he?
Plaxico Burress. With the gun tucked in his pants, and
the gun went off.
The gun went off.
But was he on the team? Did they remove him from the team? Because
I think what I will tell you is the team basically fell apart for whatever reason.
Yeah.
It really they were rolling, and it came apart.
I got a feeling Mike Vrabel was going to keep all this in-house, in check, close to the vest. And
that's what you
out.
want. You don't want it to turn into a media circus. That's what you don't. Where everybody's getting distracted. Oh, and by the way, we're playing a playoff game here.
All right, we're going to take a break. Oh, by the way, yes. When we come back, we head to the whiteboard to talk about these scripted plays every team uses to open the game with. Stay tuned. You're watching Burton Ernie talk football with Fauria. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone, to Burton Ernie Talk Football with Fauria. We're talking at the whiteboard with Ernie and Christian about scripted plays, which means they're written down, you've gone over them and over and over them, and how many plays are scripted?
Typically, it probably varies by coach. I'd say most people are probably in the 12, 15 range, somewhere in there. And what this is, you have your game plan for the week, and then you as coaches, you decide, this is going to be our first 12 to 15 plays, and now you'll get some other situations will come up. You have your script, and all of a sudden you get a penalty. It's 3rd and 15.
Then you don't go by the script.
Well, then you go to your 3rd and 15 list. So you have this.
So even that's scripted.
Right. You have. We talked to you a couple of weeks ago about the play cards. That you hold up in front of. Well, it's got. All the situations. Here's my 3rd and 15 plays. Well, you don't want a lot of 3rd and 15 plays, but if it comes up, hey,
you got to have one.
You got to have one because that's what we practiced. You will practice that 3rd and 15 play. It will come up, and the guys will run it during the week. So what you really want to do is during the game, your best chance is go to the stuff that you execute well, that you executed well in practice, and you've got your opening script. You will do typically a drive on Friday. You'll have 15 plays, and you will go work on the script. And you can really emphasize, for instance, Christian, on this play, we're going 0 jab, 26 power. We will go over with you. This is what you're the critical player on power, and this is how we're going to execute the play against their defense.
What do you call it?
Jab, 26 power. It's run off tackle.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's basically.
Jab,
But
26
I love the openers. Openers are always on Saturday night. You have a team meeting, and then the defense leaves, the offense stays, and then the offense coordinator would do his little speech, and then he would go to our own version of the board. It was like, and he would go over the top 15 plays, 12 or 15 plays, but one by one. And as a player, the one thing you're looking for
is what? Your play?
My play. I'm looking. Now listen, now Ernie's right. You practice these plays all week,
right?
And you don't really know how the OC is going to put them together, but you know the first 15 that's your great, and then you're going through them in your mind. And then we would have bets. We would have pool to figure out what was the number one play. Everyone would put in $20, and if your play came up, you would win the pot. Right, so you would because we all know the plays. We've gone over near 26 power. I don't know a bunch of times.
Right.
And I'm like, no. I think what Charlie Weiss really wants to do is throw it to the tight end. I'm going to do this, right? And then we would go weeks and weeks with nobody. Quarterbacks couldn't do it because they would know ahead of time. Right. But I love the first 20. I love the first 15 plays.
So you on a Friday night, do you actually?
Saturday.
I'm sorry, on a Saturday, you actually go through it up and down the field. The first 15 plays are scripted. You know what it is ahead of time.
That's the whole idea. Is because you want the players to know during the game. Hey, this is what we're going to do. And the coach he'll make a point if it's the pass to the tight end. But whether it's Charlie or Weiss or Josh, you say, now Christian, tell us how you're going to run your route. So everybody, you know
everybody's on the same page.
What's on the same page, and it gives you there shouldn't be any question. Hopefully no questions. It gives you a chance.
Should be perfect.
Should be perfect, and that's really the whole idea.
So you do this to start the game. Do you do this to start the second half as well?
It's become more and more. You'll sit down. Probably you don't have that kind of time to have that kind of meeting, but you'll have, when you go in the locker room at halftime, you're going to get coaches together and these are, like if it was Dante Scarnett, here's the 3 runs that really look good. Josh, here's the 4 or 5 passes that look good. We get third down. Here's my passes. Well, there's, you've got 10 plays right there. So when it's the heat, all stuff going on, the heat of the battle, it's loud. As a play caller, you go, here's the list. We sat down, we said, these are our best things. We practiced these well. It's like Sean Payton would say about call the plays they know by heart. So when it's critical time, you don't want to be calling in that play that you put in brand new this week. You're in one time in practice Wednesday. What you want to do is the stuff you've been running since training camp, and you know what to do.
Ernie, quickly, because I know we're going to wrap this up. What is the approach or the philosophy with the first 15 as far as just gathering information?
That's big. We think this particular, like this is a play. I think the Patriots last week were in 21, which is 2 backs, 1 tight end, heavy. So there was an offensive lineman in the game as opposed to the tight end. He had to report, so he's an eligible receiver. And you said, well, we think this will be good for us this week. You put it in. Then I'm looking, how is the defense going to adjust?
So you're gathering information.
Because it's
a good point.
You are constantly during the game looking at how they're playing against us. What moves we're going to make to counter. I mean, it's a jab, counter.
Cat and mouse.
Cat and mouse. And as I've told you many times, better to be the cat.
I actually have never heard him say about being the cat.
I like that. One last thing, about 10 seconds. How much power does Drake May have in designing the scripted plays?
You will take with a quarterback what Josh. Drake, these are the plays that look good. If there's something you don't like, tell me. The last thing you want to do as a play caller, particularly with a quarterback, call a pass that he doesn't like. I mean, that is crazy.
No, not that one.
Right, but there's plenty of passes you
it's like waving off a pitcher.
Right.
We don't do that. The catcher.
The catcher, right. All right, good stuff.
I love
good stuff. I love that.
Love the top
plays.
15.
All right, next up, because we are going to take a break, but next up, we'll stay right here at the whiteboard to talk about zone blitzes. Everybody's coming. We'll be right back.
Or are they? That's the whole idea. Are they coming? Are they not coming?
Welcome back, everyone, to our Whiteboard segment. We're talking zone blitzes with Ernie Adams and Christian Fauria. Go ahead, Ernie, take it away.
Well,
what is a zone blitz, first of all?
What is a zone blitz? Okay, so what the zone blitz is a situation like we have right here. You're bringing 4 rushers over on the strong side of the formation. Okay, you are bringing maximum pressure. But
like I said, everybody's coming.
But you're not locked in to playing man-to-man behind it.
Okay.
Where they can get you, one-on-one, no free safety back there. So you're bringing the pressure, but your coverage people are playing zone. Okay. So right here, we're bringing on. This is like basic. Basic, blitz zone, which people were, and basically when the Patriots picked up about a 20-yarder to Diggs on an in-cut last week, the Jets had, this type of pressure on.
So it's really about protection, right?
So what you're doing is you're trying to overload the protection. You're trying to get, you may come next time you run this, you may bluff it over here and come weak. You want to get the quarterback's head on a swivel. Is coming strong. I don't know if they're coming weak. Maybe they're coming up the middle. That's a big part of this. And you will tell your linebacker, if you're coming strong, this weak side linebacker, go and bluff like you're coming. That's part of his bluff.
Yeah, the bluff.
The what they call sugar. Put it out of sugar. Try that.
Yeah. But then that guy has to get back to his area right?
He's got to get back to his coverage. And what you'll get here was, because you see so many athletic defensive ends now. So this end on this one, he's got to actually drop and be part of the coverage. So it's the whole thing is, and when you hear people talking on TV, blitz zones, I want all our highly sophisticated viewers to understand, they're playing games with the offense, but you're coming with pressure. You're not locked in to playing man-to-man. Now, because
there's a zone behind it.
It's a zone behind it.
How do you mitigate this? How in the world does the offense sort of stall these guys from coming? You can change the snap count.
You can say, and this is where.
Well, you're trying to get the answers before you snap the ball. So if you're going to delay, you can use a motion, right? There's different ways you can do it.
You can use, the double cadence. Go into your cadence, look at. I saw you stand
Give it away.
Up. I know you're giving.
We know
you. There's always
interesting.
There's telltale signs. This is where you love running this stuff against young quarterbacks who don't know what they're doing,
right?
As opposed to you get a veteran who can there's little tells that they're looking for,
and younger quarterbacks haven't seen enough. Here's what I thought. What I was curious what you think. So obviously you're overloading the blitzing, but it also messes with your hot rules.
Hot rules, absolutely, totally.
And tell me what you mean by hot rules.
Okay.
For the offense.
For the offense is when you've got if you've got three blockers on this side and they're coming with 4.
Yes, someone's
there's
hot.
A free, and somebody's got to know, hey, I got to be ready for the ball. Like Chisholm, his first NFL reception, I believe, last week, a slant coming from the left. He was hot. Against the pressure, did a good job. But this is messing with pass protection. This is our old friend comes into play here. The Mike points. Quarterback sees where the pressure is coming from. Now he can redirect his protection.
The other thing is in the defense, they're trying to get you to think it's man. So they want you to, hey, I think I'm hot. I see the Mike call. Okay, I'm hot off 1. Okay, but no, there's zone blitzing. And in the end, it's just zone. There isn't as many as I thought there would. I break my route off instead of running the full route. That's where you really start messing with it.
Right, and this is why, going back to when Christian was a player, you spend probably more time on blitz pickup than any other single thing. If they're going on kickoff team, which isn't going to involve all of the offensive linemen, you got 5 minutes. Hey, bring them over here. We're going blitz pickup. You spend you want to get your offense to the point where hey defense, you hope they blitz because we know how to deal with it. When you have real trouble on offense, you're worried about where they're coming from. Then you got a problem.
You don't want to see a quarterback get nervous.
Nope.
Right? No.
Looking over. Oh, he's coming. All right. We're going to take another break. We look ahead to the Dolphins. Stay with us. Welcome back, everyone, and we're on to the Miami Dolphins, folks. But here's the deal. The Chargers are playing the Broncos. And the Chargers are resting their starting quarterback.
Yeah.
Therefore, that does not look good for the Patriots to win that number 1 overall seed.
Right.
Because we need Denver to lose.
Yes.
And it doesn't look like Denver's going to lose. Correct?
Right. Denver's playing for a lot this week. You know, they're not resting their guys. I mean, they need to win the game. So it's you would look at it and say it's going to be really hard for the Chargers to win.
See, I was like, how would you approach this as a coach? So you know that the Chargers have basically said, we're done. We can't improve our seeding. We need to rest our guys. We're going to have a home game. So we're not really going to try to beat the Denver Broncos because they can't win the AFC West regardless of what happens. So they're not going to try. Now, the Patriots...
It's not like they're not going to try.
No, well, listen, I get it. Okay, but you know what I mean. The fact is that now the Patriots are kind of... And the games are at the same time.
Right.
How would you approach this as a coach?
You know...
Because your players need some rest, too.
You know, if you have... if you have players, you know, who are on the edge medically, like they would improve their performance in that first, playoff game, with a week of rest. You have to take that into account. But I also want to make the point: this is probably the most complicated week of the year for the coaches.
Why?
Because they could be playing a game a week from Saturday against. They don't know who they're going to be playing against, so they have to start getting ready. Their preparations, for the Chargers, however things.
But you still have to take care of the Dolphins.
Right, but on top of that, you got to start getting ready for whoever you're going to play next week. Because during the season, you always know in the regular season who I'm playing next week. You always know, next week we're playing whoever it is. We don't know who we're playing. We got to be ready for all of them. Now, presuming Buffalo, you know them because you just played them.
Right.
Okay. But the
Chargers, you don't know.
You don't know. So you have to. You're basically getting ready to play 3 different games. At the same time. It's
a lot. It's a lot of prep work.
A lot of prep work.
But you like this time of year.
This is what you live for. You live for. You live. You putting your whole season. You're putting on the line with a 3-hour game. There's a bunch of other teams sitting home, wishing they were in your shoes playing.
You want me on that wall.
Yeah.
All right, friends, that's going to do it this week for Burton Ernie Talk Football with Fauria. We're on every week, Tuesday night. Happy New Year, everyone. We'll see you next Tuesday.